Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your relationship check-in reading, where we'll take a peek at your interaction with someone that's on your mind or in your space and see if we can get you some clarity on where you guys are. So we're going to start first by pulling an oracle card or two just to see what overall energy is surrounding this reading for you. And the first card that we have out for you is Sunshine. Good vibes, happy times, positive attitude, things going well. The answer is yes. Let's pull another and see what else is surrounding this reading for you. What else is going on with my Sagittarius collective for their relationship check-in? What else is happening with my Saggies out there? Oh, we got two for you. And we have karmic relationship, fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment lessons, letting go and loving you. And we also have Cupid's arrow. Have faith, love is coming, surprise, invitation, or meeting, hesitation. All right, Sagittarius, you have a lot going on in your reading so far. So it feels like the energy that's surrounding you is one of transition. So it feels as though you have gone through this sort of evolution when it comes to this particular relationship, where you have gone from not great experiences, right? And looking at the karmic relationships where you have likely learned a lot of lessons the very, very hard way. And it's like, yeah, I don't particularly want to repeat those again. Lesson learned, I got it. And so I think that for some time, you have been sort of dealing with how to handle emotional triggers and be a little bit more, I would say, open and thoughtful about how you respond to other people's shenanigans. And so to be clear, Sagittarius, I think for a lot of you that when you were done dirty in some way, shape, or form in relationships, you may have been the queen or the king of the pop-off, right? Where it's like your emotions just bubbled up and you just went so hard. But I feel like you have grown out of that, where it's like if, someone does something to offend you in the context of a relationship, you are now sort of handling it in a much more mature and balanced manner. And I feel like that's going to serve you well for the long term, independent of any specific relationship. It feels like that's just a good quality for you to have developed, being more balanced and more self-maintained when it comes to responding versus reacting to other people. Now, when it comes to this specific relationship, it almost feels as though it has come out of nowhere, like it sort of caught you off guard, that you've been doing all of this work, you've been doing all of, this processing for the karmic lessons that you've learned in your past relationships. And it's almost like you're walking down the street with your head down in your own thoughts, focusing on yourself, and you just run into this other person and it's like, well, damn, hi, hello, how you doing? Didn't see you walking there. And it's like, oh, this could be interesting. And so in getting to know this person, it feels like a redemption almost. It's like, okay, so this is what doing me looks like. This is what doing me and taking care of myself gets. Okay, cool. Like this feels like a very easy vibe that's coming through in this reading. I do have a bit of a smile on my face because it feels so unexpected, but it also feels very, very nice. So let's get into some tarot and see what other messages we can pull for you guys. So this person that is now in Sagittarius's energy, why are they here? And we are starting off with them getting you to a calmer place. The Six of Swords is about moving from rough waters, from a choppy place in your life to something that's a lot calmer. Basically, you're now floating on these glassy little waters. Like there's no big waves. There's none of that. Everything is just flowing along nicely. And so I think that this person was brought into your life to help you get to that space. And we also have that clarified by the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is a very quiet energy. It's one of rest. It's very peaceful. It's taking that time sort of to yourself to decompress, to process, and all of that. So this person is not crossing paths with you to, sort of put that to the test. They're here to enhance that. It feels like they are here to show you that relationships don't have to be chock full of drama and shenanigans. They can actually be quite enjoyable and quite calm. So how this person's energy affects you, we are starting out with the Ace of Pentacles. It feels as though you are in a place of believing that good things are possible, that this is someone that over time you can build with. They are bringing in a sense, again, of peace and stability. They're bringing in tangibles. Like, they're not coming to you with half-chewed bubble gum and like their hopes and dreams. They're coming to you with an already stable foundation that you can sort of feel. And look at this, the 10 of Pentacles. This is sort of the ultimate, right, instability. So they make you feel grounded. They're not, like what you've probably experienced in your past, where you may have felt like you were always walking on eggshells, or you had to stay on your toes. You had to keep your head on a swivel. This is stability. They are bringing it to you from the Ace to the 10. And you are in a place of feeling very grounded and very, very secure, which is absolutely lovely. So your strengths as a team. What does Sagittarius and this other person look like when they combine their superpowers? We have the Page of Wands. This is a spark. This is coming together. And again, what I'm not seeing in here is fireworks, but it's like that beginning that you two come together and you all are ready to create. It's not like either one of you are coming in like cuckoo and where, things kind of blow up and then they settle in. It's like almost like you're sort of striking a match and lighting some kindling before you can put the big logs on. It's like, okay, let's get this little fire started here. Okay, let's get this. And so I think that both of you are coming at this from a very tempered and a very deliberate and measured approach. And we have that clarified by Death in reverse. So death is really about a transformation, right? It's the beginning of something. It's the end of something else. It's a bit of an overhaul of where you are. And so I think that you two together, that there aren't necessarily any major changes that need to happen. More that you all have done the work individually, each of you on your own. And in coming together, you can start to create something new. And so I think that both of you are coming to the table ready-made at this point. There's no Build-A-Bear workshop on either side where you got to thug it out and indulge in some struggle love for a few years before both of you are in the same place at the same time. I think that you all are both coming to the table. It's like the other person's bringing the pot roast, you bringing the sides and the forks and the knives, and together it's like just a beautiful, beautiful meal. Now, what challenges might you all face as a twosome, as a couple, as a partnership? We have Judgment. And so I think that with the Judgment card, this is really just going to be about sort of making decisions together, sort of considering each other, because again, you all are coming out of this energy of, I think, fierce independence and lessons being learned from your prior relationships. And so I think that at times there's going to be a little bit of a struggle coming together to make decisions as a twosome instead of just sort of functioning as, two independent units. And we have that clarified by the Queen of Cups in reverse. And so I think that at times it might feel as though, if there's some type of, I don't even want to say conflict because it doesn't feel that deep, but if there's, a medium to be had, there's the chance that one or both of you may feel like because the other one wants something that the other person doesn't necessarily agree on. And this can be something so small as, deciding on the color of a sofa that you all buy together. I know that's random, but a trivial little thing. It's almost as if like, well, if this person doesn't agree with me, then they don't care about me. They know what I've been through, et cetera, et cetera. So it's important for you to not lose that grounding that you have already achieved, and make sure that, you don't look at disagreements as an expression of not loving each other or not caring about each other, but, just a simple difference of opinion that I think can be fairly easily rectified with a little bit of compromise. So an underlying issue that you all might have in your relationship, and I'm not feeling anything like super significant, but let's see. We have the 6 of Cups. So an underlying issue that you all have, because the 6 of Cups is really a card of reminiscing, right? It's about thinking and looking back to the past. So I think that, again, you all are coming into this having recovered, having healed, having done the work from prior relationships. And so I think that for a little while, until you all are fully integrated with each other, that there is going to be this, I think, worry, this, sort of sense of looking in the past and focusing on what has been instead of what could be. And, just being, I think, a little bit hypersensitive or overly attentive to making sure that what's past is not prologue, if that makes any sense. So let's see if we can clarify that a little bit. Okay, we have more clarifications coming out. We have the King of Swords and the 10 of Cups to clarify. And so I think that, for one or both of you, there, of course, is this, I don't want to say desperation, but it's like you don't want to jeopardize the stability that you found on your own. You want to make sure that you are constantly reaching for your happiness. But I think at times, because of your past, and if there is a past trigger that comes up in your relationship, then, you might sort of, it almost feels like a fight or flight energy where you're expressing yourself. It can come out a little bit harsh. It could come out a little bit blunt because of your desire for self-preservation and self-protection. So that could be something that pops up every now and again based on experiences that you've had. But I think that ultimately both of you all's goal is to be happy. Independent first, but then coming together in a relationship, having that happiness. So just be mindful of, any past issues that may creep up every now and again. So a good way to communicate with your person going forward, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And so in the world of Tarot, the Knight of Pentacles is widely regarded as like the slowest moving knight in the deck. They take their sweet time. So I think when it comes to you communicating with this other person, it's going to be super important for you to address any concerns as soon as they come up. This is not something, that you want to let linger. You don't want to let any sort of resentment build up, because then that falls back into this karmic relationship bucket, right? So making sure that you express yourself. And with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, making sure that you don't make any dramatic changes immediately without having these conversations. If you're going to be in a relationship, there's this sense of, partnership that needs to happen, where you're no longer just sort of focusing on yourself, functioning by yourself, but there's somebody else that needs to be taken into account as well. So on both sides, not letting issues linger, making sure that you articulate yourself or your concerns as soon as they come up, so that you can work them out together and not just have this sort of knee-jerk reaction where it's like, oh, okay, well, you did this, well, I'm going to do this. That's counterproductive. That's not good, because overall it seems like this is two really good people who have been through some things, that have worked on themselves, that are now coming together and really desiring a healthy relationship. So open communication at the time that communication is needed is going to be super, super important. Now we have two additional messages from Spirit that came out for you. The first one is acceptance. You are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. And expression. You are ready to manifest your thoughts and transform them into acts of love. So acceptance and expression. I think that this, is sort of two-sided, right? You accept what has been in the past, but you are now also open to accepting what's here for you in the present and what can be in the future, right? You're no longer sort of beholden to just your past experiences. You've learned whatever it is that you've needed to, and you're ready to take these next steps forward. You're ready to enjoy being with this other person. But it's also important in terms of expression to make sure that you are able to speak your mind clearly, articulate what it is that you want from this other person, and not sort of holding it inside and letting it get to a point where it bubbles up and you're sort of stuffing it back down for the sake of, quote, harmony. That at some point is going to turn things up on its head, and it's going to be the absolute opposite of harmony because it's had so much time to fester. So being open, being able to express yourself, and I think that this other person is open to you doing that as well, is going to be a good thing for you all going ahead. So that's what I got for my Sagittarius collective. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.